Okay, so if I were to name every single great show out there, I'd probably go insane. But I guess that's the point of this video. When I think of a show that has the look and feel of a movie, I think of shows like Ozark, Stranger Things, The Boys, and a million others. This all started when streaming services began putting out shows with film quality standards. Now you'll even see shows with the same sort of look on certain TV channels. The point is, you can watch almost every single great cinematic show on services like Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon. I'll be sure to include some suggestions in the description below. So, here's an example of what makes a show feel more like a movie. First example is cinematography. Some people overlook this sort of thing because they care more about the story, but if you're a film enthusiast like me or you just really enjoy the visual aspect, then you probably love seeing great cinematography. Now, when it comes to most shows with a 20-episode season, you typically don't get a great focus on cinematography because they're just trying to get basic shots so that way they can keep things moving along. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love cinematography from many films. The shots that you'll see in every movie were chosen by one director, whereas a series has a director for each episode. But isn't that something to enjoy? You basically get one long story throughout the entire season that's put together by multiple people. You get to watch how each director handles their portion of a season. Sure, they won't get to make their episode feel like a Tarantino film because they have to keep things feeling the same throughout the entire season. But to me, it's special that they get to incorporate their own shot ideas into a portion of the story. The next thing I want to get into is the budget. These short seasons of streaming shows typically have a bigger budget than your average TV show. It's safe to say that these streaming services are making a shitload of money. At this point, it's hard to find someone who doesn't have a Netflix account. With such a big budget, many popular shows are able to have movie-quality special effects. If you compare the special effects from Stranger Things Season 1 to Season 3, you'll see a remarkable difference. It makes these types of shows feel far more unique than a lot of big-budget movies. But that's not just because of the special effects, lighting, cinematography, or even the acting. The best thing about these shows is their story structure. The story of an 8 to 10 episode series can be absolutely amazing. The way I see it is you get so much more from this than your average 2-hour movie. Each episode ranges from 45 minutes to an hour long. In a way, you can see these as chapters of a book. Typically, most best-selling novels are adapted as streaming shows now rather than movies. Sure, there's some books that work as films, but they often lack key components of the book, or they just cram everything into the movie and make it extremely long. Not many people can sit through the Lord of the Rings films. There's no way in hell that many people can sit through the Hobbit films. I'm sorry, but they kind of suck. If you look at Stranger Things, each season can be compared to a novel. Each episode is even labeled as a chapter. The first episode usually shows you who the characters are and what their life is currently like. Then by the middle of the season, you see everyone start to get involved within the same conflict until they're intertwined in the final episodes of the season. Sure, it's gotten a little predictable at this point, but still has a lot more story and character development than your average 2-hour movie. To me, that makes me feel more connected to the characters as well as the story. Basically, the best way I could sum this up is by saying if you want to find a fairly complex story, I recommend you check out series that follow the same principles as everything I just went over. Anyway, I'm tired, so yeah, bye.